The meditation techniques that the speaker will share with you in the next few videos are cathartic meditation techniques. These techniques are a necessary step for those who want to meditate. People who started meditating without freeing themselves from their repression cannot get anywhere, as if you were trying to climb a ladder starting from the last step. This is what happens to people who want to start Vipassana practice in the state of mind they are. These people can practice Vipassana for a lifetime or for lifetimes without any psychological change taking place. First of all, we need to get rid of repression. This means getting rid of the mental mechanism which make it easier for the mind to repress a problem rather than deal with it, than bring it to the surface. The only way a problem can be overcome is to bring it to life. That is, from the unconscious to move it into the conscious part of the mind. This is the task of the cathartic technique. The cathartic techniques were practiced in the spiritual community in the 70s and 80s. Unfortunately, nowadays, it is not very easy to find the right place where to practice these techniques. You definitely won't find this place online. There are many places online where these techniques are offered for a considerable amount of money, but they are of no use. These places have become a religion, so they are of no benefit to a psychological transformation. They may continue to consider themselves against religion, but this does not take away from the fact that they are religion. What they say is not worthy, and they are probably not even aware of what they do or say. The moment a spiritual community works on people living in society, it becomes a religion. True religion teaches how to rebel against society, how to eradicate the conditioning of a society from the mind. The techniques that the speaker will share with you will apparently look the same as those found in this spiritual community. You can also go to the spiritual communities. There are very few left to practice, but the important thing is the attitude you will have. The speaker repeats to you, if society, religion still have any value for you, or if you have expectation of any kind, what the speaker says is not for you. The speaker takes it for granted that whoever listens to what he says is only interested in the truth, in nothing else, but don't have any expectation about the truth either. The truth is the truth. The truth does not change according to what we want or believe. So, if there is something within us that we believe in, we will not be able to see the truth, because if the truth is contrary to what we think about it, we will not be able to accept it. For the white man, accepting the truth is not easy. Western culture is based on the self. The truth can only be known when the ego disappears. So, in the moment of the truth, when only the last degree is missing and the truth will be revealed, the white man generally pulls back, gives up the truth, and keeps his own self. The greatest difficulty for the Oriental man is to reach the last step. While he will have no problem abandoning the ego. Western man can get to the last step more easily, but the last step will be impossible. His individuality was an advantage to get to the last step, but what has been an advantage up to now will be an insurmountable disadvantage. It is happening to many in the 70s and the 80s, especially Germans. Germans are very intelligent and obedient with a great will, all things that can help up to a point, but in the moment of the last step, they were unable to abandon their ego. The German conditioning was too strong to let it fall. Another Western who came very close to enlightenment was a disciple of George Gurdjieff. His name was Uspensky, a very famous Russian mathematician of the 20th century. He has been a disciple of Gurdjieff for years, but when it was time to completely surrender, he simply abandoned the idea, psychologically closed himself. All the disciples of spiritual masters who are very close to enlightenment, but by their choice deny it, become completely antagonists of their own masters. The example of this phenomenon is precisely Uspensky, who until that moment was a perfect disciple, but later, for that single psychological event, he disavowed. He became an enemy of Gurdjieff. For Uspensky, Gurdjieff has gone mad. Uspensky, after that time, he does not even use Gurdjieff's name anymore. When he was to mention him in his writings, he only called him G. The speaker is aware that most people turn to meditation to be able to live better in society. Generally, in order to be able to live in society, people try everything. There are people who try alcohol, drugs, sex, sport, and of course, there are people who seek some help through meditation. This is completely normal. So, if you go to a Vipassana center, ashram, spiritual communities, retreat, the speaker hope for you that you will get some benefit. The speaker has never been part of any society, who has never been part of any religion organization, but obviously he grew up in society, but he did not become part of it. The speaker also visits many spiritual centers, both those of religion born thousands of years ago, like Buddhism or Hinduism, or center of new religion, that is those born in the 20th century. But he was never a part of it. The speaker simply went to these places, learned everything he was interested in knowing, and then walked away without leaving any trace. The speaker also lived in many kinds of societies, Western, Indian, Thai, Arabic, etc. But he has never been a part of any. This is what the speaker means when a person has to leave society and religion. He has to leave them psychologically, not physically. You can not leave society physically, but only psychologically. Society is everywhere, so you have to live somewhere. The speaker always speaks from a physiological point of view, so continue to live in the society you are in, but meditate every day, and do not let yourself be used by society, but you use society to grow psychologically. When the speaker speaks of rebelling against society, he speaks of rebelling internally, psychologically, a completely non-violent kind of rebellion. Violence leads to nothing but more violence. So far, a meditator, non-violent, is the main characteristic. A meditator must abandon violence against himself and against others. Religion, organization, teach violence against oneself, while they are opposed to violence against others. But violence is violence. Does not matter which way it goes. Try to live by giving a little energy as possible to the society you live in, and try to accumulate as much energy as possible for your spiritual growth. The speaker cannot tell you how to do it, only that it can be done, since he did it. There are no maps for spiritual research. Spiritual research is individual. There is no single path that is suitable for two people, but the same is only what is found at the end of the path. Awareness is present in all beings, in the same quantity, but the ways to reach it are as many as the number of individuals who reach it. Thank you for listening.